John Beltran and Dave Urich back from Gilchrist. We're about to head to the third quarter, finally, as the Beet Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 30-13. The Beet Diggers established the momentum at the beginning of this game on special teams with the 83-yard kickoff return from Eric Garcia, and then the 3-yard scoring one by Connor Weiser. But now they'll have to do it on defense, Dave, because Valley can get right back into this game if the Beet Diggers don't respond defensively. And we know that, as we mentioned moments ago, before we went to the break, that Valley's done a decent job of running the football tonight.
Yeah, so Diggers have to make sure that they shut that run game down. And tell you what, if they do, I think things are really going to tip in our favor, because that's going to force Valley to come out and start having to throw the football. We saw what they did there at the end with their throwing it today. They went with twins on the one side, and they're trying to do that out of shotgun, and pretty soon they're starting to force things and just start changing their game plan and force teams in to start to throw the football, and good things will happen.
Well, all you need is one stop. You get one stop, you score, you're up by 24, 25 points. And then if Valley, unless they're just going to run their normal game plan and say, we're not going to win this game, they'll be forced to throw the football. You know, if they, again, indeed want to get back and try to get back into this game and win. So it's all up to the Beet Digger defense here on this opening drive for Valley. And then if the offense can turn that into points, then we'll see a Valley team that just throws the football almost exclusively. And that's going to be bad news for them, because I don't know what the record for interceptions in a season is for a Beet Digger team, but I believe they've got 7 in the last 3 games. And as you mentioned, that secondary can produce some special plays.
They just got so many good athletes that are quick and smart, Sky. You know, we have some smart football players, and they have a lot of those savvy kind of skills that, you know, aren't coachable. There's not enough time in the season to coach them, but get those savvy players back there that can make those plays.
The Beet Diggers will kick it off. And the Valley Vikings have had a couple of decent returns tonight, but the return game has belonged to Eric Garcia, just off that one long one. And as we talked about in the first half, the Beet Diggers have at least one touchdown pass in each of their first 6 games. That's almost unheard of when you're talking Brush Beet Digger football, but that's basically a testament to how much of a quality quarterback they have in Mitch Gormola.
You bet. Like we said, you know, you can throw that out pattern, but that post pattern over the middle is just dangerous. They force free safeties to make a decision on what they're going to do, and all they have to do is get one of those guys off target a little ways, and Simone can stand in there and thread the ball right in there. We saw that tonight with 2 passes that he had to throw it in between defenders. They were extremely accurate. They were sharp, crisp, and followed up with good catches.
Yeah, and Eric Garcia is almost impossible to cover. Vince Albo can find the seam. Trevor Blake had a big reception tonight. Randy Baker scored a touchdown during that homestand the Beet Diggers had, and he's always a target. It'll be Roman Marfil and Brandon Garza back to receive for Valley. As we begin the third quarter, Cardenas boots it. On a line drive, it's caught by Marfil, running to his right at the 15, across the 20 to the 25. Straight kind of a tackle to 28, and then it's tackled along the sideline by Izzy Hernandez, who, along with Randy Baker, have been very good special teams players this season.
Yes, they did a good job at converging on them that time. The boys hustled down the field, had good containment. Our guys that were on the outside, they didn't suck in too far, and they were able to keep out there far enough to slow them down when they tried to creep outside.
Valley will have it at their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10, trailing by 3 scores. So one thing the Beet Diggers will attempt to do in the second half is shorten the game, and that's what you have to do when you've got a big lead at the break, and sticking with your game plan, as Brush, I'm sure, will do.
You know, they've done a good job of it. I'll tell you what, they've been able to run the ball. Like you said, that one drive, we didn't have any runs over 5 yards. But they were really good.
An official's timeout, and that's because of an injury. It might have been Marfil himself, as he was tackled hard by Izzy Hernandez. We cannot see him. We're shielded by the players along the near sideline. This is the first injury of the game, and it's here to begin the third quarter. So while we wait, we'll take a break. We're 9 seconds into the third. It's Brush 30, Valley 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich from Gilchrist. It's Rush leading Valley 30-13, but the bigger concern is Valley's Roman Marfil, who was knocked out of bounds on the opening kickoff of the third quarter by Izzy Hernandez and has sustained a severe injury by no fault of the Beat Digger. It's just plain football. And we cannot tell specifically what the injury is, but we've really not seen any movement at all. And there are several medical personnel around him at this point. You have to think it's a head and neck injury, and they have brought out the stretcher. And I'm sure he'll be taken to the closest hospital. So this will probably still take a few more minutes. Valley will have the football at their own 30-yard line after the 17-yard kickoff return. And Dave, this will happen once in a while, and unfortunately it's happened right now on this homecoming night, which was a terrific celebration before the game and at halftime. And now the crowd on both sides very silent at this point.
Yeah, it was a good homecoming night. Valley's got a great crowd over here and showed a lot of spirit. They had their royalty drive around the track on some nice Corvettes, and they had a great party going on. But you get a guy hurt, regardless if it's on your team or if it's on the other team, just the fact that it happens in sports, and it's inevitable. Sooner or later, it does happen. It's just kind of sad for everybody.
Well, the athletic director, Eric Johnson, is directing personnel as well. This is when the job gets really tough, especially when you have to deal with this sensitive of an issue, and they're taking their time. They want to make sure they stabilize Marfil and get him on that stretcher appropriately and not rush just to resume this football game as quickly as possible. The Beat Diggers up by 17 points at 30-13. And momentarily they'll get that stretcher underneath Marfil. I'm sure he'll get a loud ovation from this crowd. Let me tell you, he had a good first half with that touchdown, and he's been a big part of this offense along with Alvarez and Huntington, but the delay continues as they attend. Marfil, a 5'9", 150-pound junior. So that's where we stand right now here at Valley High School with a 17-point Beat Digger lead. And the injured player, as the teams are actually trying to loosen up along the sidelines, Dave, because the delay this long, it almost negates the warm-up during halftime because it happened 9 seconds into the third quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have to stay a little bit warm as the temperature is creeping down little bit by little bit. But they just tipped him over, and now they have that body board underneath his back. And now it looks like they're starting to use some sort of a wrap to kind of attach him to that board and prevent him from moving.
Yeah, see, that's what I saw. You mentioned tipped him over because I thought he was basically on his stomach, and they didn't move him once he was on his stomach. And he will be removed shortly, yeah, because in these situations, you have got to stabilize the athlete's body as much as possible. Almost no movement, especially when it's a serious injury, especially when it's a head and neck injury. And that's such a sensitive area. And that's one of the drawbacks of playing football, that these injuries are going to occur. You just don't want them to lead to life-threatening situations. You know, I remember, Dave, back in the mid-'80s, Tame was very famous because his father was an excellent NFL player, Bart Bonicani, who I went to the same elementary school with, playing for the Citadel. He lowered his head into the AstroTurf, and that was it. He's been paralyzed for about 26 years now, quadriplegic, and he was an outstanding high school player at Columbus High School, Miami, then at the Citadel. But that's why one thing they say, even though he was an offensive player, if you're going to tackle, do not lower that head. Do never tackle with your head. Keep that head up and tackle correctly. In that case, I don't know exactly what happened with Marfil, unless he took it helmet to helmet, which I don't think happened. You know, we do know that Izzy Hernandez made a good form tackle. And he just went down and did not get up. And now Marfield is taken off the field in a stretcher, actually along the sideline in a stretcher, standing ovation by the crowd here at Valley High School. And after that delay, we will resume playing in just about a minute or two. The teams are actually stretching once again. Valley's taking some laps between the goal line and the 30 where the ball's been placed. The Beat Diggers have done the same. Valley will have it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line, as the Beat Diggers have a 17-point lead on 3 touchdown runs from Connor Weiser and a touchdown pass from Mitch Tormolen to Eric Garcia. The Valley offense is back on the field, as is the Brush defense. Oh, this has turned into a game last closer to 3 hours because of that unfortunate injury to Roman Marfield. 1st and 10 for Valley at their own 30-yard line. This will be the first play from scrimmage in the second half. Keith Huntington in a shotgun formation. Alvarez to his left. And there's the direct snap to Alvarez, who hands it off to Huntington right up the middle. He's got nothing. To the line of scrimmage, Kyle Rosenbrock with a penetration. And Brian Woodward also in on the play. 2nd down and 10, gain of half a yard.
You know, they're running that single wing a little different from what we're used to seeing, where the quarterback gets it and spins around. They're doing a lot of direct snaps to Alvarez standing right next to him, and that's got to cause a little extra confusion for our defense as we stay in our 5-2.
2nd down and 10 for the 30. Huntington shotgun will hand it off on the right side of Alvarez. He's thrown for a loss by Daniel Soto at the 28-yard line. It's a loss of 2, 3rd and 12. Looks like the Big Digger defense has made their adjustments very nicely.
Yeah, they just seem really calm out there, and just like business as usual. Soto came from his defensive end position and flew out there, and you watched him get his head in front, and he tackled down below the waist and kind of wrapped his arm right above his knees.
3rd down and 12 to go from the 28-yard line. Passing situation for Valley, but they're in that single wing formation. Out of a shotgun, Huntington back to throw. Nobody open, steps, throws towards the sideline, incomplete. Trevor Blake was on top of the receiver, Jacob Joseph, at the 35-yard line, 4th and 12. And the Beat Diggers played their best 3 defensive plays right there.
Yeah, they sure did. I was proud of Trevor on that play. He was tempted to reach out there and grab a hold of that receiver, but he pulled back. I think if he would have wrapped her arm around him, he might have got called for interference, but real heads-up, smart play there by Trevor.
Joseph's going to punt, standing at his 20-yard line. Low-line drive, Eric Garcia to his left, lets it bounce to the 40-yard line. Takes a huge Valley roll inside the 25 to the 18. Holy mahungus. The punt went for 54 yards on that huge roll. Brush has it 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Yeah, punt maybe could have been fielded up around between the 35 and the 40, but it just takes those bad hops. And sometimes those are scary to try to field because you don't know which way the ball is going to bounce.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 18-yard line, leading 30-13, 10:25 to go in the 3rd. And you know what? That injury to Marfield, it looked like it took the wind out of Valley sails a little bit too, Dave, because they looked flat on offense, and the Beat Diggers had all the life on defense.
They sure did. You know, it was like they just ran 3 plays that didn't really have any rhyme or reason to each other.
In the backfield are Chris Lee and Connor Weiser. Vince Albo is the receiver to the right. On 1st and 10 from the 18, there's the handoff on the right side to Chris Lee, and he pulls his way across the 25 towards the 26, and there's a late flag. It's a gain of 8. But that's either a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike. And which team's going to be walking backwards? That'll be personal foul, Valley. Gain of 8, and a 15-yard personal foul against the Vikings, which will place the football at the 41-yard line.
I've noticed some shots that have come in a little while after our running backs and our receivers have hit the ground, so I think Valley might be getting called for a few late hits.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 41-yard line. Let's see if they open this up at all or just decide to run right through Valley and extend a 17-point lead at the 41. Again, Leon Weiser in the backfield. And they give it to Lee on the counter running right. He's thrown for a loss of 1. 40-yard line. There was nothing there. And in fact, making the tackle for Valley was Isaiah Navarez, the 6'1", 190-pound junior. Second down and 11 to go for Brush.
They got some big guys up there on the line. You see some of the guys on their lineup. They have one here that's 240 pounds, 225, 305, 265, 250. A lot of big kids on their team.
The Beat Diggers definitely have the speed, and that helps. Second down and 11 from their own 40-yard line. Tormolen looks to his right, throws it on the right flat, caught by Garcia at the 40, cuts it back to the 45-yard line, and he's down at the 46. And there's another late flag, and I think that might be another late hit against Valley. It's a pickup of 6. And the preliminary indication of personal foul against the Vikings. That's just sloppy by Valley.
And those are late hits. They're clearly, after the ball carrier hits the ground. But
yeah, but these late hits, Dave, can get somebody hurt. Okay, and after what just happened here with Marfield being taken off on a stretcher on what was a legal hit. There were no flags thrown. It gets a little bit dirty when you have 2 personal fouls in a span of 3 plays. First and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the 39-yard line. Tormolen on first and 10. The backs are split. Lee and Weiser. Hand off to Weiser across the left side of the 30-yard line. Into the clear down the right sideline to the 20, to the 15, 10. Stiff arm, and he's down. First and goal for Connor Weiser. Towards the 2-yard line, it looks like the ball's going to be spotted, which would be a gain of 37. Jacob Joseph makes the touchdown-saving tackle.
That's the biggest run we've seen Weiser take in a while, and it was a nice one as he cut back across the grain. That takes him up to 150 yards. 15 carries, 10-yard average.
Well, they're going to mark it at the 1. Official gain of 38 for Weiser. First and goal. Tyler Carter's in the backfield this time with Chris Lee. One of those two probably will get the football. Tormolen will hand it off to Carter running right, and he's going to score. A touchdown from 1 yard out for Tyler Carter. Brush 36, Valley 13.
Nice run over there in between the guard and the tackle on the right side. Just like Weiser, Carter was barely touched.
The Beat Diggers now can make this a 24-point lead after a very impressive drive, but they couldn't take up much time, and they couldn't do it because of Weiser's 38-yard scamper up that right sideline. Now Jesus to attempt the extra point off the hold of Eric Garcia. This will be the biggest Beat Digger lead of the game. Perfect snap. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 8:17 remaining. Third quarter. Brush 37. Valley 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 5 plays, 82 yards in 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Tyler Carter scores from a yard out, set up by 2 personal foul penalties and a 38-yard run by Connor Weiser. And the Beat Diggers comfortably in front, 37-13. They've already had their highest point total of the season after that touchdown, their 5th of the night. Well, they'll have a new returner out there. It'll be Drew Hubbard along with Brandon Garza. And Cardenas kicks this ball high and pretty deep. Backing up is Hubbard at the 10, running to his right to the 15-yard line across the 20. He's taken down hard, and there's a flag as the tackle was made by Tyler Carter, who's slow to get up. Carter put a lick on the returner, but he also hurt himself a little bit.
There's a lot of collisions happening on those kickoffs. Guys are running full force down the field.
Holding against Valley. Dave, Valley's been awful here in the third quarter with the penalties. That's 3 now for 40 yards.
They have to be feeling some frustration. And now's the thing. We said, we expected them to come out and change their game plan a little bit, maybe start going to the air more. We'll see if they do it here, see if they're feeling that sense of urgency.
Well, this football is going to be back at the 12. Well, maybe the 13. From this vantage point, so at the 13-yard line, with 8:11 to go in the third, Brush 37, Valley 13. Alvarez and Huntington in that backfield for the shotgun formation. Huntington, the quarterback, has the snap. Is going to keep it himself, running left. He's going to be dragged down after a short gain towards the 15-yard line. Brett Bostrom was one of the Beatniggers out there, very aggressive defensively with the Beatniggers. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2 by the quarterback, Huntington.
Bostrom was not fooled at all on that play. Stepped up and filled the hole and made a nice tackle there. Again, Huntington following that little blocking back that lines up right behind the guards.
Yeah, the Beatniggers are reading their keys now. 2nd down and 8 from their own 15. Valley down by 24. Shotgun again. Direct snap to Huntington. He's going to hand it off. And very little running room for Alvarez, but he cuts it back towards the middle. And he runs towards the 20-yard line. I think he didn't get there. That's a 19, a gain of 4. 3rd down and 4. Bryant Woodward gets up at the bottom of the pile and makes the play.
109 yards now for Alvarez. Kind of center steps around, but he shows a lot of quickness once he decides which hole he's going to run through. He really turns on his feet.
3rd and 4. From the 19 with Valley possessing the football on their own side of the field. Shotgun. Huntington has the ball, takes it himself across the left side. He's not going to get there. To the 21-yard line, he gains 2. And again, the Beatniggers with plenty of penetration. Corey Acosta around the football, along with a couple of others. 4th and 2 at their own 21-yard line. And here comes the punt team for Valley.
Boy, they wholesale a change in there for the punt team. They have a special teams team that runs in there and gives all their starters a rest. It's a big chance for Brush to probably, maybe get in there and block this thing.
Jacob Joseph to punt, standing at his own 10-yard line. And there's a perfect snap. Joseph gets it off line drive. Garcia is going to field this and drop it at the 45 and then fall on it as a 39. Oh, Garcia knows he could have had a big return there because that ball had very little trajectory and Garcia had plenty of running room but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, I was going to land on about the 50. It looked like he was waving for a fair catch. The ball started tumbling over his head as the ball was going end over end. It's a hard ball to catch.
It'll be placed at the 38-yard line with a beat 37 to 13 with 6:13 to go in the third. And the Beatniggers just want to shorten the game and use up some clock at this point. 1st and 10 for Brush at their own 38-yard line. Albo's the receiver to the left. Weiser's on the bench right now. In the backfield are Lee and Carter. Mullen will hand it off right up the gut. Big haul for Carter. Across the 45 to the 50. Back to the inside at the 45. And then he possesses and holds that football with 2 hands to not get stripped away as he's down at the 36-yard line. The tackle was made by Huntington, but it's a gain of 26 yards and a 1st down for Tyler Carter.
Nice trap play there. And just like you said, Carter felt Huntington closing in on him, and you could see he wrapped both hands around the football and really protected it to make sure it didn't get stripped. Some good blocking there downfield.
This is 10-10 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Denver. John Beltran with Dave Urich, 5:52 to go in the third. Brush leads Valley 37 to 13. 1st and 10 for the Beatniggers. With the ball at the Valley 36-yard line. Mullen on 1st down. He's going to give it on the counter to Chris Lee. A flag is down, and the gain of 1. That's going to be a hold against Brush.
Lee tried to run a 37 off of that trap, and those two plays go together. But the Valley defender, the defensive end, got so much penetration there, he just messed the play up before we had a chance to get it off the ground.
The gain of 1 is nullified. It's coming back. And the Beatniggers are going to go way back because it looked like that penalty day was behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Yeah, it was a good 3 yards back.
Wow. All the way to midfield. 1st and 24 for the Beatniggers. That amounts to a 14-yard penalty. But the good thing is that the clock will continue to move. So even if the Beatniggers don't score, they can pin Valley deep like they did on their previous possession. 1st and 24 at the 50. Tormolen back to throw. No pressure. Heaves it down the left sideline. And the ball comes in. Touchdown! James Elbow! 50 yards. Rush 43. Valley 13.
Albo ran right down the sideline. Never broke his stride. Tormolen did a beautiful job of throwing it over his shoulder. Albo just put both hands out. The ball fell in his hands, and then he tucked it away and ran away from the defender.
You know what, Dave? I think Albo was jonesing for a pass like that because he was wide open in the first half at around the 4-yard line, and it was overthrown by Tormolen. That one was a play of beauty.
You betcha. 156 yards passing now for Tormolen, and boy, he's thrown some strikes tonight.
Jesus Cardenas to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Garcia. There's the snap. It bounces in. The kick is up. That looks good, and it is good. 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Third quarter. Brush 44, Valley 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers started the drive on the 38-yard line. 26 yards forward, 14 yards backwards, and a 50-yard pass from Mitch Tormolen to Vince Albo. 2 plays in a minute 7. The extra point was good, 44-13. Albo scored 2 touchdowns in week 1. He'd been dry since then, but is back in the column where he wants to be. Tormolen has 2 touchdown passes on the night. It's 44-13. Cardenas to kick it off. And this one is high and towards the left sideline, caught by Hubbard at the 15, along the sideline to the 20. Then he stripped down at the 23. And that's where Valley starts. And the Beat Diggers have played awesome football over the first 7 minutes. That's exactly what you said, Dave. You felt the Beat Diggers would come out in this third quarter as opposed to last week and really take it to Valley, and that's what's happened over the first 7 minutes and 1 second.
Well, they've really shut down that running game, and that's what we talked about. You know, if they were able to shut that down, maybe force Valley into getting out of their comfort zone. And now we're starting to see it. Look, they have twins out here to the right side.
First and 10 for Valley at their own 24-yard line. Huntington in a shotgun, no setback, so this looks like it's going to be a pass with 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Now Alvarez gets a fake handoff, and now Huntington takes off with the football. First down, still on his feet, breaks out of a tackle across the 35 towards the 36. That's a play Valley needed. A gain of close to 13 yards and a first down for Valley.
They brought that wide receiver, Alvarez, clear from the left side. They brought him in motion all the way across. And they just faked the handoff really quick and ran the ball up the middle. So they're going to have to really focus on him.
Yep, first and 10 at the 37-yard line. Again, 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Let's see if Alvarez resets this time. Huntington awaiting the snap from a shotgun. There will be a reset by Alvarez. He gets the handoff running wide, stopping, stutter stepping, cutting it back, and then he's down at the 40-yard line, picking up 3 yards in a play. The initial hit was made by Corey Acosta. Second down and 7 for Valley.
Eric Garcia got in there as well and wrapped up nice and low.
From the 40-yard line, approaching the 4-minute mark of the third quarter, we had a injury to begin the third quarter to Roman Marfil, which was a head or neck injury, and that's why we're still in this third quarter with the Beat Diggers up by 31. On 2nd and 7 for the 40, shotgun for Huntington, direct snap to Alvarez, stops, runs to the right side, and he drives his way towards the 43. He was hit initially by Baker, but he kept going and gained an additional yard, and again, Acosta in on the play after another gain of 3, 3rd and 4.
115 yards now for Alvarez, but you know, the Diggers are just doing a good job at not letting him break out to that sideline and turn on those afterburners.
3rd down and 4 for the 43-yard line. For Valley, like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Greg Mullen is there. Let Greg Mullen work with you to get the discount you desire and the coverage you need. State Farm agent Greg Mullen. On 3rd and 4 for the 43, Valley with a football on their own side of the field. Man in motion. Huntington keeps the football, spins. He's in trouble, running to his right. Breaks out of a tackle across the 45, close to the first down marker at the 47. Oh, that could have been a loss. Instead, Trevor Blake made the play downfield. It'll be a gain of 4 and very close to a first down for the Vikings.
Same play, they had guys spread out wide. They put a guy in motion, then faked that handoff to him, and they just kind of threw us off as he kept the football and ran it up the middle.
Vikings do have a first down at their own 47-yard line. For all of your title needs, visit Tim Weimer at Northern Colorado Title, 205 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan. With 2:45 to go, third quarter. Brush 44, Valley 13. First and 10 for the Vikings at their own 47-yard line. Huntington back to throw, rolling to his left. No pressure. Now here comes Woodward. He's going to take off with the football, and he's going to be tackled by Rosenbrock. No, it gets away from him inside the 50 to the 45, down to the 43. Then a late hit. Oh, that was a late hit there by Valley. Rosenbrock got a piece of him, and I don't know what Beat Digger's down. I don't know if that's Rosenbrock, but somebody took a shot on a block that was thrown well after the whistle, Dave. It's a gain of 10, but Beat Digger's flat on his back. And let me tell you, I'm not too happy about what's happening here on this field, considering that Valley now has 3 personal fouls, and that one was well after the whistle.
Yeah, and that's Brian Woodard, I think, that's down over there on the field. It's one of those plays that's happening so late, happening so often. I think, ejections are in order.
Oh, come on. I mean, this is a joke already. I mean, if we weren't on the air, Dave, I'd have a few expletives for what's happening on this field because it's ridiculous. This is 3 personal fouls already, and now a Beat Digger's hurt. And I think you're right, it is Woodward along the sideline. That was just a shot, and it looked like the Valley player launched himself into the Brush player. I mean, there's no way you could avoid an injury there.
Yeah, it was an intentional cheap shot.
Victor Lopez onto the field. I tell you, if this garbage continues, they should just end this game early. They forget it. Because that was blatant. I mean, you could see that they were far away from that play, and we could see it easily. Even if you were focused on the football, you could see. So it is a gain of 10 by Huntington. And this Valley team is I'm sorry, to me this is an embarrassment at this point.
It's the same kid, Pedro Alvarez. He was the same one that got called last time. He just got called again.
Well, he shouldn't be playing anymore. I mean, that's not even football. You're out to hurt somebody at this point. And hopefully Woodward will get up momentarily. He's on his back. He's got one leg up and his right leg flat. I mean, Ryan Wehrman is somebody that I interviewed many times when he was coaching Wiggins. He really wouldn't condone that. Now he's almost up.
Well, I'll tell you what, he asked the official which number it was as soon as he heard which one it was last time he got Alvarez off the field. And then this time again, as soon as it came over here, he sent in number 21, got Alvarez back off the field, and he gave him a talking to over there.
Yeah, I think Woodward got his spell wrong, so he's okay. I'll tell you what, this happens again, Dave, you're absolutely right. There's got to be some ejections. That is a bunch of garbage right there.
Yeah.
3 personal foul penalties. And, yeah, Brian Woodward was the injured Beat Digger, but he is okay. So first down and 10 for Valley at their own 43-yard line. And now checking into the game for the Vikings is Larry Ball, a 5'7", 175-pound junior. And one thing is to commit one penalty like that, but 3,
yeah,
it's blatant, it's intentional, and it's low class.
Yeah, it's two of the 3 were the same guy.
And now the officials are talking right near the football. Maverick Seawald is right there as well. I don't know if they're actually talking to each other. But it'll be first and 10 for Valley at the 43, unless they're going to say, is this a first and 25? Yeah, I don't know why it's not a first and 25, Dave. It was after the play, but maybe I have the ruling incorrect. As the Beat Diggers lead with 2:28 to go in the third, 44-13. And again, that personal foul, Dave, if you saw it the same way I did, the play was over, Woodward was just standing there, and the Valley player launched himself, looked like he got in the air. And if he didn't, it was close to it, but it was very late and got him in the upper body. I mean, that was one of those that, at least in shoot for the knees.
Yeah, that hurts Valley now. You know, he's one of their best players, the guy, one of their playmakers, and you know, he's got to stand over here on the sideline now.
Yeah, I mean, that cannot be tolerated. 1st and 10 for Valley. The clock is going to run at their own 43-yard line. Huntington in a shotgun. Direct snap goes to the setback, and that's a gain of 1. I think that's Larry Ball, who we were talking about earlier. And it was. 2nd down and 9 at the 44-yard line.
That totally disrupts your offense when you have to take your starters out of the game for stuff like that. But,
well,
we'll take it.
I applaud Ryan Wehrman for doing that because you just can't tolerate that. 2nd and 9 for the 44. Man in motion. Huntington spins, runs across the middle. He's down after a gain of 1 at the 45-yard line. V-Diggers there in the middle of that defensive line to make the play. Kyle Rosenbrock also got a piece of the ball carrier. 3rd down and 8. Yeah, you just want to escape this game healthy now.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm telling you, there's some danger out there on this field.
We've seen that happen before. Remember Anthony Hurd at Roosevelt a few years ago?
Boy,
we were killing him.
Don't get me started.
They went after him. You could tell they went after him.
3rd down and 8 for the 45-yard line. With 1:10 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Brush leading Valley 44-13. Huntington in a shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Low snap, back to throw, deep drop, looks to his right, throws it along the sideline, and it is going to be incomplete. It went right through the hands of the receiver, Jacob Joseph, at the 34-yard line. Pretty well thrown ball. Had he caught it, it would have been an easy 1st down.
He had to come back for it a little bit, but like you said, it was a pretty well thrown ball. Izzy Hernandez had some good coverage there, though, and that helped disrupt the play.
So it's 4th down. Let's see if Valley goes for it. 4th and 8. Now the punt unit will come out at their own 45-yard line. Probably have a couple of plays remaining in this 3rd quarter. Yeah, and Randy Bright sees this. There's no way that Connor Wise or Foley will go back out on that field, considering the lead they have and knowing that he's got to keep those knees fresh. Perfect snap to Joseph, and this one is off the right side of his foot. Bounces to the 36, and again takes a huge Valley roll, and it's down at the 24.
The ball was going to roll another 10 yards. But
yeah, it's not out of play. Yeah, it was a 31-yard punt, but it could have gone for 41. So the V-Diggers have it 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line with 47.3 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The V-Diggers starting unit is out there, but again, I don't think Connor Weiser is going to see the field again tonight. I don't see him out there. That's Chris Lee and Tyler Carter in the backfield, and those guys are going to have to run low themselves so they don't take one of those ill-advised shots. 1st and 10 for the 24. There's a handoff to Carter running right. Got a huge hole to the outside of the 30, along the right sideline to the 40-yard line, and he's dragged down right there. A gain of 16 for Tyler Carter, and a 1st down for Brush.
42 yards for Carter now on 3 carries. And Diggers just having a lot of luck with that fullback sweep.
1st and 10 at the 40. And he did go out of bounds. So all that does is extend the 3rd quarter that much more.
Starting to get a little bit chilly up here, so I wouldn't mind if they kept it in between the sidelines. Running right up the middle every play.
Amen to that, brother. 1st and 10 for the 40. Torbola will hand it off on the right side, and that is a short gainer for Chris Lee, who's being dragged back by about 5 Vikings. It'll be a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 to go for the V-Diggers. I don't think they have to run another play here in the 3rd quarter. And in fact, they won't. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Brush 44, Valley 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.